Hello! Today we're going to be talking about lung volumes, what the definitions are, and how we can calculate them. Now, lung volumes, or the amount of air that's in your lungs at various times, is measured using a tool called a spirometer. It's like a little mouthpiece that you put in there and you blow as hard as you can, or you suck in as hard as you can. The old models, they used to push air bubbles into a water tank, and then you'd measure how much water was displaced. The newer digital models work a little bit differently, but let's get into what these volumes are. Now, first of all, when you are breathing, nice and easy, breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. This is what's known as your tidal volume. Think about the tides of the ocean there at the beach. Comes in, comes out, comes in, comes out. Tidal volume. Now, tidal volume is not the entirety of your lung space. You probably recognize when you're at rest, your natural in and out is only a portion of how much your lungs really could go. So if you were to take a nice simple breath in, pause, and force yourself to breathe in even more, you can actually go quite a bit. This is called inspiratory reserve volume. Inspiratory means a breath in. Reserve volume means you're holding it in case you need it. Your normal tidal volume breathes in a certain amount, but you're holding back the ability to breathe in a whole lot more air, just in case your sympathetic nervous system kicks in and you start breathing heavily, just in case you need to exercise or run or something. The ability to quickly bring in more air. So if you breathe in until you feel like you burst, that's your inspiratory reserve volume. Similarly, when you take a breath out, if you pause and then try to force more out, that is called your expiratory reserve volume. Okay, reserve, again, you're not using it on a regular basis, but you could if you wanted to. Expiratory, how much you could force out. Okay. Now, if we take all of that together, your normal breathing, how much you can force out, how much you can force in, this is called your vital capacity. Tidal volume, inspiratory reserve, and expiratory reserve. This is a calculated value as opposed to measured. We measure each one of these three, and then we can calculate your vital capacity. Now, vital, that's in life. So this is how much lung space, how much air volume you use in life. In a pinch, how much could you force yourself to breathe in and force yourself to breathe out? But there is a portion of your lung volume that you can't use. It's so-called dead space. Not because there's dead tissue, but it's just unused air in between spaces, filling up the passageways. It's not in gas exchange, it just is air in there. This so-called dead space is called your residual volume. Normally, it's not very high, but with various lung diseases that are destroying lung tissue, residual volume can become a sizable percentage. So, our last calculated volume is your total lung capacity, your total lung volume. You take vital capacity, how much you physically can use, and residual volume, what you can't use. And what you can use versus what you can't use makes up the total lung volume. Okay? So, remember, vital capacity is made up of your tidal volume plus your inspiratory reserve, expiratory reserve. Vital capacity, what you can use. Residual capacity or residual volume, what you can't use, makes up your total lung volume.